Hey everybody, how's it going? So about 6 months ago I did a video of just kind of walking up and down a bunch of the blocks in New York City, including where my old store used to be, on 1st Avenue and 14th Street, with the goal of just kind of showing people who are looking to rent space similar to me that when a property management company or a landlord says, if you don't rent this for $200 a square foot, someone's coming along to rent it at $300, that's just not really the case. I just kind of wanted to give people and small business owners a better idea of the market as it was. And I got a bit of pushback when I did that video from people saying, well, Louis, listen, it's July. Some of the COVID restrictions were just put off. I can't believe you're doing this video now. You should wait a few months and take a look. So I figured I'd do that. It's been about 6 months since I did that video. So I thought I'd just kind of walk down the stretch of 1st Avenue where my old store used to be. I'm on 1st Avenue and 14th and show you guys what it looks like. So over here on the corner we have a building at looks like 237 1st Avenue. Looks like it's well taken care of and there's nothing in it.
You got an ass like that, you ain't got no brain. The world's flat. The world's flat.
The world is indeed flat, sir. Come at me, Susan W. No, I'm kidding. The world's not flat. I was just memeing because he was yelling that. So let's see what we got. So you walk down the street, and on the other side, you have a place that does nails, and you also have a jewelry place. And they appear to be closed at around 3 in the afternoon. Now, these are not for lease, but I tend to believe that in New York City with the rents here, if you're closed at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, you're probably allergic to money. So I don't believe that those places are really open. And as you go down the block over here, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? You have a place over there. It looks like dim sum is coming soon. That's cool. Got a little restaurant over there, something that may be coming soon. You have a kitchen, and again, okay, it says, sorry, we are closed due to Omicron spread. I don't imagine that has anything to do with policies in New York City because we don't have any, we don't have any sort of thing that says restaurants are not allowed to be open. So I imagine that's a voluntary closure. And over here on the corner, we have a GNC that is for lease with your typical horrible low quality graffiti. So this is a place where you could buy overpriced protein shakes and have them try to sell you on a GNC card every single fucking time you walk in. And then people wonder why you don't want to go to stores anymore and people shop on Amazon. All right, next block. Very, very happy to see that Hamptons Market is still in business. Steve and I used to get lunch here almost every single day back in 2013, 14, 15. They would make amazing custom sandwiches. The guy behind the deli, like, he really loves his job. He loves making you food that tastes good, that's healthy, that's well made. He was screaming and the guy in the car still didn't notice and almost hit him anyway. A very New York thing that happened. So I'm very glad that place is still in business. Across the street, Tallgrass Burger is still in business. Again, they have a great owner. They really care about the quality of the food that they make. They care about the customers. I'm very glad to see that they're still in business. Over here, you have some retail space for lease, and it's covered with brown paper. Oh, what's that? Right across the street. Looks like a permit for something. Let's take a look and see what that looks like. Beautiful, beautiful. There's garbage everywhere. Oh, Balade is still open. This place makes, what is it? Damn, I can't believe I forget the name of it. It's this lentil dish. It's a muradara platter. It is so good. Let's see if it's on the menu here. Sandwich platters, here we go. Anybody who comes to New York City, you have to try this. The muradara platter, they give it to you with caramelized onions and this amazing garlic sauce. Oh my God, it is so addictive. High carb, but really, really good. I don't recommend eating it every meal of the day or anything, but man, does that taste good. That is a really, really good restaurant. I'm proud to see they're still here. So this was a sushi place. Sorry, man. Sushi place over here. And it looks like this is for lease. And again, anytime you have a place that is for lease, it is going to be accompanied by a lot of, again, really, really low quality graffiti. Again, this is not high quality shit right here. This just looks like somebody literally just, I don't know, like just pissed on the window with piss that was like made of paint or something. Not very appealing at all. And yeah, I'm really glad that Balade is still open. Balade, however the fuck you pronounce it. Also across the street, Salmai over there. Salmai has these really good sandwiches you can get. I don't know if it's still, like, they have a tofu sandwich for $7.50. All sorts of really amazing selection of foods. And again, they make it for you in like 5 or 8 minutes, and it's way cheaper than you would ever imagine healthy food to be in New York City. There's so I'm really glad to see that they're still in business. In that place across the street, Jeepney, looks like a Filipino place. It is closed. Again, if you're closed at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're either closed for business or allergic to money, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that. This deli over here being closed really makes me sad, because there are so many times where I was short by a quarter or a dime or something like that, and a few bucks, and he's like, yo, just come back later, don't worry about it. And then I would actually come back later, and usually I'd give him more money than the amount of money that I owed, because I appreciated the fact that he actually trusted me, and he would refuse to take it at all. He's like, you're a good customer, here, just take it. And I really hate seeing businesses like this go under. Businesses that actually, get to know people in the community, that trust the people that are showing up, that will actually say stuff like, yeah, just come back later, don't worry about it. Because I would get to the register and then go to put something back and say, I'm sorry, hey, let me just run back to the store, I'll be right back. And he would always say, don't worry about it, just take it. So seeing places like that go out of business really does make me sad. He was also paying over $10,000 a month, and it wasn't much bigger than my store, so it's not surprising that went out of business given the amount of money they were paying, the economics of it. This is a laundry place. Again, I don't know if it's an hours thing, but when it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're closed, it's difficult for me to believe that you're running a business that is that is viable. This is a cafe. It says temporarily closed for a few weeks. Again, I don't believe that is something that is due to any sort of particular mandate to close, since to my knowledge, we don't have any mandates that force restaurants, bars, or small clubs to close due to Omicron. A lot of it really just is staffing shortages. Again, like half of my staff wound up getting it even though they're vaccinated. Luckily, none of them wound up in the hospital or anything like that. So, knock on wood, did its job at least. This is a great smoothie place, Juice Vitality. They used to be an absolutely disgusting deli there, and they moved out, and the juice place moved in around 2015 or 2016. Really nice place, treats people really nicely. I'm glad to see that they're still in business. As you walk down the street, you will see, okay, this candy shop is closed. I'm honestly happy this place closed, and I really don't have much good to say about it. There are these really small things that give you the feel of a human being. It's small things. So there was this one time that he asked my manager, what are you paying in rent? And Steve told him what we were paying in rent. And then Steve asked him, what are you paying in rent? And he goes, oh, I can't tell you that. That's not your business. It's like, then why the fuck did you just ask us? I mean, like, Steve is a much more reserved person than I am, so he didn't curse him out. He just walked out of the place and never talked to him again. But him closing, it really did seem like karma for being such a shitty human being in that particular moment. Now here, this is... Well, I don't know if any of you recognize this shit. Here's one of the things that I find funny. It's been almost 2 years since I was here, and everything is still here. Like, look, that's my price list over there. Okay, they haven't cleaned the windows in 2 fucking years. These windows have not been cleaned in 2 years, but that is my price list over there, and those are my motors. These are blown Bafang BBS HDs. Press F in the chat for each of those Bafangs. Those are blown motor cores. Those are blown and destroyed. See how the wires are kind of black over there? And yeah, see how it kind of looks all like, rusted and shit? And yeah, see that one over there? See how that motor core is black? That is destroyed. That was me trying to put... At one point, I tried putting 7,000 to 9,000 watts into a BBS HD. Don't do that. 3,000 watts, maybe 4,000 you can get away with. 9,000, it just doesn't work. So... With that, we'll be on to the next block. But it's so ridiculous. Like, they don't do nobody has stepped foot in that store since I left. Like, not one person. My price list is still there. My dead motor cores are in the exact same spot. It is just crazy how you can own a property or you can own a building that costs $14 million and literally never step foot in the property to maintain it ever. Like, let's just pretend we give a shit. Let's just clean I don't know. It's insane. So this used to be a consignment boutique that is obviously closed. You have what looks like a realty sign over there that has fell down. And again, they're not even going to bother to try and put the sign back up. It's been like that for the past few weeks that I've come by here, because putting that sign over there would, again, it would mean that you care about your property to some extent, and it just seems like they never do. So this is closed. Moving on over here. Looks like the Bella Tile place finally got rented out. So we were looking at renting this store. This was going to be about $9,000. It had a couple of things that were concerning, like, we don't want you to adjust this or that, or we have to talk to the grandpa, the owner of the place, to check out and see if you're allowed to do certain things. And it was definitely bigger than my old store. Most certainly was, but I didn't think it was big enough to be worth an additional additional $4,000 with stipulations. But it was right down the street, which made it easy. I just didn't think it was enough of an upgrade to be additional $4K. But one thing that is really cool is that this was not rented when I did my video 6 months ago, and it is rented now. So that is additional economic activity, and that is a good thing. Here you got Black Seed Bagel. This place made some really, really good stuff. They had this tofu cream cheese that was to die for. And again, it is closed on the afternoon. It's not New Year's Day anymore. I don't know if they're in business or not right now, because again, I really don't go by this area much anymore since we're on 27th Street. And more importantly, I don't know, this is a tough one. Again, this place usually has a line out the door, but it's really hard to imagine that you're in business if you're closed around 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a day that is not a holiday. To me, it just seems like you're allergic to money. Over here, I guess a work permit. I don't know what's supposed to be over here. No idea what this is down here. Yeah, no idea what that is. This is the Western Union check cashing place, and in is the Western Union man. There's a guy who fixes phones in here. I feel bad. It's been like 8 years, and 9 years actually, and I still don't know his name. We just always called him the Western Union man. Every time he'd come in the store, we'd call him the Western Union man. Someday I'll learn his name. Commodities over there. That's an amazing little grocery store. It's kind of like a Whole Foods-ish kind of place where you'll find some, interesting little tidbits that you wouldn't find in your chain grocery stores. And it's run by a really, really kind gentleman who's come into the store before from time to time. You got Iggy's Pizzeria over there. That's a staple of the neighborhood for a very long time. They have them very nice, very, very nice. Was it broccoli rolls or garlic rolls? There's a restaurant here that went out of business recently. I think it used to be there, that changed to Joe's and Pat's. I forget the name of it. They had a waiter that picked their nose. We'll be closed on January 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Okay, so, they gave fair notice there. Okay, so across the street, we have an eye and health place. Now, I'm very curious if this is, just closed for today or closed permanently. One interesting thing to note, this eye and health place is approximately, when you consider the entire space of the store, it's maybe about 100 square feet bigger than my old store. They wanted $9,000 for this piece of shit in 2011, because I was looking at renting this. I believe it was this. I don't know if it was the place down the street or this. I'm 99% certain it was this. In 2011. Okay, so we got a notice in the window. Notice, we ask that you please consider rescheduling your appointment if you were in a country exposed to COVID-19 virus. That's every country, I imagine. Believe that you may have been exposed to COVID, even if you're not recently out of the country, or experiencing flu-like symptoms. Okay, so I don't know if they're closed permanently or they're just in that stage of there's COVID, so we're away due to COVID. It says out of office until December 27th. However, it is considerably past December 27th and still closed, so don't know about that. So that's the third place so far. This is the third place that pretty much had a sign that's like, we're closed due to COVID. We're just closing our business due to COVID. Very interesting. Again, I did have some employee outages from it, but we just wound up, doing what we could with the skeleton crew of people who were not sick. And, we just told people, hey, you remember how we told you 2 to 5 days over the phone? Yeah, it's going to be like 7 to 21. Sorry. Hey, listen. Everybody here got a vaccine. Ain't my fault that shit's not 100% effective. So over here, prime retail for lease. And again, like many of the spaces here, you have, again, you have a dirty awning sign. You have a window that looks like it has not been cleaned in 2 or 4 years. You have your standard display of graffiti everywhere. And you can't really even read the number properly anymore because it got graffitied over and nobody's going to bother fixing it because nobody ever bothers fixing or looking after their own properties anymore. Okay, let's see what we got across the street over here. By the way, before I cross the street, I just wanted to show you this pattern. So you have closed business, closed business, closed business, and then right above all of that, you have luxury, expensive apartments with balconies that, like, probably most of the people that work here can't afford. I just find that very, very, very interesting. All right, so you have this place next to the eye health place. I don't know if this is related to the eye health place because they do have a giant eye in the window. Yeah, when it comes to the amount that you pay here, this is not like, this is not like the rent you're paying in like Wolfboro, New Hampshire or something. It's very, very uncommon to have a place be closed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because, again, you're paying $10,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 a month to be in this neighborhood. So the idea is you really do got to milk every single day for what it's worth. And as you can see, there is an ample amount of foot traffic out here. Now, I'm not sure what this is. There's not really a sign that would tell me what this was before. And the gate is kind of down. This is a copy shop, so it being closed, okay, I can kind of understand that. It does have a mass required sign, and they are closed today as per their normal hours. They look like they're in business. I don't know what this is over here. Looks like some sort of what used to be a tiny deli or something, or a bodega. Oh, this plans to open a restaurant. Okay, so this is going to eventually be a restaurant, it seems. Good luck with that. So it looks like this used to be vacant. This used to be a place called The Bean. This was a place, I believe this was The Bean. This is a place either on this block or on the next. I forget. I honestly don't remember. I should look that up and see. I think it's, either. I'll be able to tell once I'm on the next block. This is a grand opening of a nice little marketplace over here. So that is, new business that wasn't here before. So that is cool. Again, it does look like this is recovering, slowly recovering, but most certainly recovering. People are moving back in. Okay, this place is a fucking amazing little Mexican restaurant called Paquitos. They used to have a takeout place and then a giant restaurant. And it looks like they got rid of the giant restaurant. Yeah, it used to be this. So you used to be able to walk in here, and I always wondered how they afforded this space, because every single time I went in with anybody, or I took anybody from the store over here, I was the only one there. I used to use this place to have my, difficult conversations with people, because my old office was 600 square feet with 12 employees. So if I wanted to have a conversation, I had to have it outside the store. So I used to use this place as my secondary office to have conversations with people because it was always closed. I had no idea what they were selling out of there to be able to pay for it. I guess they weren't because they closed it. Across the street, there is a laundromat. It does say it's closed. I'm not sure if it's permanently closed or just closed for today, because I have a laundromat in my neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, where that's open on Sunday too. So it's hard to imagine a laundromat in the East Village that would be closed on Sunday. Got an ice cream place over here. It is closed. Yeah, no ice cream on Sunday, really? Okay, so the hours over there, if you look at the sign, it says 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday, and they're closed today. So I don't know if this place is closed due to the cron, or due to just being out of business or what. But yeah, they're closed during what are their open hours. Over here you have, oh my God, okay, this is Dan and John's Wings. Now the gate to the basement is open. So, there is open access to there, and there's a light on down there. However, the window looks like this. And the question really just does become this. I don't know if this is or is not an open business. I don't have that answer. Would you purchase food from an establishment where the window looks like this? Like, would you buy wings from me? Because I wouldn't. I fucking would. Hey, how are you? Okay, So I forget if the Bean was the last block or this block. I'm pretty sure it was the last block because this is Stromboli Pizza. So yeah, that little marketplace that opened up, it looks like that last block, that replaced a place called the Bean. They sold like pre-made food, and they pretty much managed to get my order wrong every single day for over a year. So it's not surprising to me that the Bean went out of business. Like, they would call literally every single day to say, hey, we don't have this. And then, my receptionist would go, then why you keep listing it? It was funny. I miss Veneer. So let's see, what is this place over here? Good Night Sunny. There have been 2 or 3 different restaurants in this place over the past 10 years, and each one of them has been really great as a bar and really horrible as a restaurant. I haven't been to this iteration. It does look like it's open. New York City requires you to be vaccinated to enter this business, and it looks like you have somebody in the front that is waiting to check your card. All right, St. Mark's Place for next block. Let's see what we got here. Looks like we have upscale little bar or winery over here. This looks pretty nice. There's nobody inside. Yeah, there's actually nobody inside. That's probably... So I have no idea how they're making any money there, but it's a nice looking little place. Got a coffee shop over here. Okay, this says it's a bakery. It says it's a bakery, but I don't see any bakerying going on. And again, it's one of those things where, like, if you're closed at this time on this day, I just fundamentally don't understand how you're making money. Never mind. Here we go. So look, if you look really closely, you have to look really closely. You'll see 4LEA. I think that's an S and an E. You would almost never see it. It's almost impossible to actually see the For Lease sign. But this place is actually closed. You would never tell because it's covered by a bunch of random papers, fucking graffiti, this shit, man with a van. And again, do you expect that the person that owns this building or the person leasing it would actually come out and put the sign someplace where it's visible? No, because that would require that you show that you give a flying fuck about your property, which nobody in the city ever fucking does. I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Adam Smith or somebody else, but I remember reading a theory from one of the founding fathers of capitalism that if you have a piece of land or a piece of property and it's something that you own and you literally just ignore it for a ridiculously long period of time, and then somebody else comes along and tends to your land or your property that you have not touched for 10 or 20 or 30 years, that the person who is now properly tending to that land or property or whatever, it now belongs to them. And I'm kind of open to that idea. Like, if you have a property, you have a piece of land, and you don't touch that shit for 10 years, you just let it sit there and decay, and then somebody else comes along and starts tending to it, that it becomes theirs. Like, I'm not a communist, but I'm open to something like that, or something similar to that, or at least opening up the discussion there, which is, again, if you let something go to waste for such a long period of time, and you don't touch it once for like 10 or 20 years, does it benefit any, does it make sense to continue calling that, your building or your property? All right, so this block seems pretty lively. And again, you have quite a bit of foot traffic here. Again, this is not, the beginning of the pandemic when it comes to foot traffic at all. You still got people going outside, even though the weather isn't exactly beautiful. Got a nice little smoke vape shop over here. Hero, shawarma, falafel. Nice little place over here. What is this? What do we got? Cocktails. Papas. Okay, this place is closed. It says, what are the hours here? So, it does say Sunday, 4 to 9 p.m. And so, we are at the point in this video where you should be open, and you are not open. So again, it doesn't say why they're closed, but they are not open during the hours that they would be open. Sydney's 5, this is a raw bar. This is a nice place. The thing is, it looks like it only has one person inside. And I don't understand how you pay your rent in this area when you have one customer at this time of day. This is a beauty salon. Oh my God, holy shit. Am I gonna have to have this shit posted on my window? Oh my God. To be posted in public-facing location. Affirmation of compliance with workplace vaccination requirements. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Oh man, I don't have that. I don't have that. I just like asked, yo, did you get it? That's how I know if people got it. It's sick. It's so weird because I have a 100% vaccination rate, but just there's something about posting that on my window and I can't put it into words what it is that bothers me about it. Perhaps that's because I'm a moron. Something about it. Oh, I don't know. It just makes my skin crawl. Looks like this place is a little oyster bar. It's getting ready. By the way, this is a really, really cool set of Indian restaurants or Bangladeshi restaurants over here. So usually they have somebody outside each one of these places, and it's really cool. How's it? And what they do is they try to get you to show up to their restaurants. So there'll be 2 or 3 people waiting outside, and when you walk up the stairs, I'm never going to forget this, you're like, hey, come into my restaurant. No, come into my restaurant. Come into my restaurant. So it looks like they're all one restaurant, but they're not. They're actually competing for your business, and they're competing to try to get you to walk in, which I always found interesting. What in God's name is this? Oh, shit. This is how people got porn before the internet. Whoa. That's how people got porn before the internet. Yo, that's crazy. That's before my time. There was a time when you actually couldn't use your computer to get porn. It's fucking dystopian to imagine a world that did not have porn on the internet, but it existed. There was a time when most people had dial-up. Just getting a clip that had sound was a treat. Okay, what do we have here? So we had a Rite Aid. We have a stop work order. Got all Department of Buildings. Let's see, stop all work. Good shit. Look at all the permits and crap they have here. All these permits. Didn't do it. And they have to stop the construction of this building. Wonder what they did wrong. Very curious. Curious to know what they did wrong in the construction of the building. We got a little Thai restaurant over here. We are closed for employee break time. We'll reopen at 5. I like that. Bruh. Dude, I don't have that. I didn't even know there was a fucking certificate. Oh, that's gonna be fun. What is this? Okay, I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna take a wild guess that you had a business. Next block. Got a little deli over here. Delis are looking slicker and slicker than they used to. Got a little ramen place. An e-bike sale and service shop. A Mexican kitchen, but again, yeah, never mind. This was a Mexican kitchen. For lease, restaurant space, turnkey, available immediately. Dead. Oh man, look. This guy had a Curtis Lewa sticker on his door. Okay, you got a smoke shop, hardware store. I'm glad that Ace Hardware here, still here. They were always here when I needed something for the store. Always helpful. Don't miss out. Show us your Oh, look at how many vaccine sticker things there are here. Requires you to be vaccinated. Don't miss out. Show us your vax. More information about the key vax. In accordance with this, we cannot accept this ID. So this entire window is just giving me a bunch of like, man, that's interesting. If I literally can't see in the window because of all the posters that you have about what the limitations to get in, lowers my likelihood of walking in. It definitely lowers my likelihood of walking in. I just heard somebody start fanboying, so I started walking faster. I'm going to hell for that, but it never stops being awkward. Okay. New York Village Deli. You have a deli, you have a wine place, a cafe and lounge. All right. It seems to be doing well. Little clothing store. It seems like you got a whole family of people in there. That's doing well. How are you? Fuck me. Oh, God. How are you?
I love your videos, man.
Thank you. You have a good day. I never know how to respond to that shit. Maybe I'm autistic or something. I don't know. I'm not good at making friends. Really not. Never know how to respond to that shit. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. So, this looks like a wine and spirit place. We move to the corner, 1st Ave and 3rd. Take 30 steps to your right. I'm far too lazy for that. Continuing, moving on. What do we got here? Okay, now here's where all the people are that would otherwise be at the other businesses. Look at this. This place is very, very busy. Wow. I'm happy to see it. Happy to see it. This is the Popeyes. Remember when I said, Erica, where's the chicken? There is the chicken. They have fucking chicken. Look at that. There's literally chicken everywhere. I was fucking wrong. That fuck you, landlord, you win. You fucking cunt. I will give you that, you cunt. He said somebody was willing to come by and spend $19,000 on that place. And instead of saying no to my offer for $9,000, he allowed me to come by just so that he could berate me for 10 or 20 minutes. And that landlord is the one that started the Rossman Realty series because he was such an asshole. And I was so pissed off that I was not recording when that happened to record that conversation that I started recording every conversation afterwards. But he said somebody was going to come by and pay $19K. And, well, somebody came by and paid $19K. Well, fuck you, landlord. You win this round. 1-0 douchebag landlord me. He wins. This is what used to be, I guess, a grilled chicken and pizza place. This does not look like they sell any pizza here anymore. I imagine that this place is lost out to the Popeyes. Popeyes probably put them out. This is a laundromat, but I find it very, very, very difficult to believe that when you put clothing inside of this store, that it will come out cleaner. And maybe that's just a fundamental misunderstanding of how household chores work or science. But I find it difficult to believe that if I were to take my clothing and I were to walk up here and I were to enter this establishment, that my clothes would come out of here cleaner than they went in, regardless of their condition. I don't know. And we get to the end. We get to the end. So we're close to 1st and Houston Street. You have a appliance shop over here, Gringer, not to be confused with Granger. I used to confuse Gringer and Granger. They have a really cool sign. So they have this sign, which is like the modern one. And then when you walk over here, you can see the old sign that they used to have, Gringer, since 1918. And that sign legit looks like it has been there since 1918. Continuing to go down the block, you'll see that now here it's a bit more popping. You see there's a kitchen that has, okay, you know what? I'm not impressed with the level of people there. I don't see how you're paying a New York City level of rent. This is how you're probably paying like a Keene, New Hampshire level of rent or something with that amount of people in there. I don't see how you're paying a New York level of rent with the people in there. But they are open, and I do wish them the best of success with their business and their restaurant. You got another little restaurant over here, and it looks like it is full. And I am happy for them that they are full. I wish them the best of success with their business. Here you have a Speedy Lock and Door. They have helped me when I screwed up the locks at the store before, and they have helped me with changing my locks each time I fire somebody. So I'm happy to see that they survived. Unfortunately, a place called Mazzetto went under. I really, really, really like Mazzetto. I got changed to Masala Kitchen over there. Mazzetto was a Mediterranean restaurant that had some of the best truffled gnocchi I've eaten in my life. They had a really lively staff. They always made you feel like you were family when you went there, even if some antisocial piece of shit like me were choosing to eat there. They always made you feel good when you went there, and I'm really, really sad to see that they closed. I love that place. I had a lot of good memories there because I would stop by on the way. I actually used to walk home to try and stay in better shape. And I used to stop by there on the way home when I was, in 2014, 15, 13, when I would stay at the store really late at night until midnight or so for board repair. I would treat myself. I'd say, okay, if I'm going to do 14 or 16 hours of work, I'm going to go to dinner at this place so I don't lose my fucking mind, be around some people that are actually nice to you, and eat some good food before I pass out and go back to work the next day. I'm really sad that that place is closed. It kind of closes it. I don't know, it's kind of a erasing of a chapter of my life that was really adventurous and fun, which was the whole staying at work until 1 or 4 in the morning to learn board repair chapter. This is a bunch of condos, and as you can see, it is for lease. So that is the end of the block. Let me know what you think. I personally believe that you have considerably more economic activity and more businesses here than what you had here when I did my First Avenue video back in July. Back in July, you had more vacancies, and I believe also you had some less people walking around. You can check the video for yourself to see if you agree or not. I think there's more. I don't think that it is recovering at the speed that is necessary to make the rents here make sense. Because again, as I've shown you, none of these places are lowering their asking price at all. They're still asking pre-pandemic prices. And those pre-pandemic prices, in my opinion, were insane and not sustainable, even pre-pandemic. That's why you'll have these businesses that are filled with people. They have a line out the door of customers, and then 18 months later, you see retail store for lease, because even with full capacity, the bill was just too high for them to be able to remain in business. And let's face it, a lot of small businesses wind up failing anyway, but even before the pandemic, a lot of this was kind of too expensive. And I don't think that the number of customers that I see inside some of these businesses at this point in time really is going to allow, again, the 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K asking to be on this block. Then again, it's a Sunday. And also the places that are for lease, one thing I noticed is the standard tradition appears to be holding true here, which is that they never, ever, ever clean or maintain their building. I'm also curious what you think about that. If you have a building that the owner has literally not touched for 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 years in a major metropolitan area, and then you have somebody that comes along and decides that we are going to make this building beautiful, we are going to make this area nice, we are going to conduct business out of it, we are going to make it livable, we are going to make it workable, should they just get the property at that point? It's an interesting question. It really is. Again, not some we're just going to take this shit from you because we're rich and we're salty that you have money kind of thing. Not that. But just when you see something that's just sitting there for years and years and it's never been touched, it just seems like such a fundamental waste of a scarce resource, like limited land in a populated city. It's something to think about. I'm not really sure where I fall on that. But it's definitely something that, a little seed that got planted in my head. Run away from the coop. No COVID! No COVID! All right. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye now.